Living legends are reaching me, sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Yeah. Keep on building that synergy. One life at a time, you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One life at a time, you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One life at a time, you and me. Keep on building that synergy.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hello, hello, hello. Gotta get my dance on first. I'm sorry. It's a Parker thing, y'all. Happy Friday. Wow, guys, can you believe it? We have gotten through the first week of the Sharon Lee briefing. Somebody wants me to dance some more. Okay, I'm going to dance some more. Okay. We've gotten through the first week of the new year, 2026. Guys, I hope you're bringing it in, making all those resolutions come true, keeping true to your resolutions and just staying on it, right? Well, for those who are new to us, new to the podcast, I just want to give you a little background so that you can know what we do and why we're doing this. I am Sharon Parker. I am the host of the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show. This is our third season, our lucky number 7 episode of the third season, and I can't wait to show you the guest and how she just, live under that lucky number, right? But guys, we've been out here since 2024, right, Chris? Yeah, this is the third season. 2024 is when we launched. We've had some phenomenal speakers from around the country, actually from around the world, in the UK, in Canada. We've had speakers come on and they share their platforms. They share what they do in the community to align with what we do here on the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show. And it's nothing but love here. We laugh, we learn, and we lead. But we also share the legacy stories of those who've, made some major impacts in society. But even before we go into all of that, I just like to always give a big shout out, a big thanks to our engineering crew, Krista Glenn, Smart Video Girl. Thank you for always showing up every Friday, every other Friday when we host our show every season and adding that professional touch to our platform. I also want to thank, always Dana Parker for the theme song for the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show. And then, all those who work behind the scenes helping me do the outreach in the community, putting together the video productions, creating flyers and all of that. I just want to thank Shayla Cannon. I want to thank Sir Charles Carey. I want to thank Lisa Dove Washington, and also, Cynthia Green and those others who support me and have been supporting me under my Rosa organization for years, guys. So look, here's what I want you to do. Share, and share again. If you're over there on YouTube, please give me your name. Let me know when you're making comments. Ask our guests any questions. If you're watching from Facebook, just put a comment in the Facebook and in the comment in this broadcast, and let me know where you're actually watching from. I want to get a count, guys, on who's following me over on YouTube and who's following me over here in Facebook, because I want to make sure we're showing up on both platforms very professionally. So with that being said, I just want to bring in, I know our speaker is very, very busy today. We're not trying to keep her long, but I want her to come in and just to give an overall, a real quick snippet of just who she is, just a little snippet of it and where she's from, and then we'll jump into the interview. So Chris, if you could bring up our guest speaker. Oh, just one more thing. The topic for the theme for the podcast today, guys, is leading with impact, right? pushing through all obstacles. What better topic to discuss than discussing it with a pastor who knows what that really means? So I like to bring in Margot now, Pastor Margot. And Margot, just give us a little snippet about who you are.
Hi, everybody. First, let me say it's an honor to be here. I want to thank you, Miss Parker, for having me. This is such a honor and a pleasure to be here. So, hello to everyone, and thank you to you. I am Margot Groves. I'm definitely a pastor, but I would like to say that pastor just makes me the senior servant, right? So, part of leading is serving and remembering who you're serving. So, really, all I'd like to say about me is that I'm a servant leader, right? I am here to be a blessing to others, to empower others, inspire them, and with the hope that they live a better life through Christ.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
I tell
welcome.
you, you got some young people out there that's going to be listening to you today. You got our seniors out there that's going to be listening, and I tell you, they're going to love this podcast today. But what I want to do before I get into asking you any questions, Pastor Margot, and I because you're so young, I want to make sure I call you Pastor. I don't want to just call you Margot, and it makes me feel bad when I just say the word Margot. But I'm gonna call you Pastor Margaret throughout the whole interview. Is that okay?
That is all right with me.
Okay.
And I
So,
love that you think I'm so young. That's a beautiful thing.
oh no, baby, you are. Time. Okay, moving on, y'all. So look, what I want to do, Pastor Mark, I want to give you a legacy gift. And this gift is going to be given so that you can not only share with your family, your friends, your ministry, just the whole world. Because I like people to not only hear about who our podcast guests are, but I like for them to see their journey along the way. So it's a quick gift to you, just to thank you for agreeing and saying yes, you would be a guest on the show. So, Chris, if you could bring that up, and you can tell us what you think about it after you watch it.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, my girlfriend, what do you think about your gift?
Oh my goodness. You guys pulled some pictures out the trenches. That was wonderful. I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you so
very
much for allowing me to relive some of those memories as well.
Yes, well, we're going to talk about some of those memories. And, like I say, keep in mind, you got young people out there, you got our elders out there. They want to know your legacy story. I want to thank Shayla Cannon for being in the background. She's one of our next generations. I want to thank Francis Luckett Hunter for being here. I also want to thank Abba Washington for being here. Y'all are in for a treat. So I know uh, Pastor Marco, you had started off about who you are and where you're from, but where were you born?
I was born in Washington, D.C., so I am a Washington, D.C. native. I was born in Providence Hospital. I grew up in Southeast D.C., so did my mommy and my auntie, both who were invaluable in raising me. But my family, like going back, is from Charlottesville, Virginia. But we are all in the new generation D.C. natives.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, so where do you stay now?
So Southern Maryland is my home. I moved to Calvert County at a during high school, and then I've now transitioned to St. Mary's County. So
St. Mary's County.
yeah.
Wow. Awesome. So guys, the podcast show is about synergy. Understanding that we don't do this alone and we can't do this alone. Understanding that, God makes us connect together for his purpose, not ours, right? And that's what true synergy means to me and why I brand myself as the synergy girl, because I understand that. I understand that nothing happens by ourselves. And as the more we outreach to people, especially our next generation and our seniors, the better we're able to find out people like Pastor Margaret, who's out there doing phenomenal things that we're going to talk about today. So I want to thank Sir Charles for being here. I also want to thank, is that Miss Gibbs for being here as well. Y'all, flood this out, share it with your family and friends. Just know that this is today is the day, the year is the year for us to really stay connected, to really show the unconditional love for our community, because so many people out there are hurting and we need some positive words. So our topic again is leading with impact, pushing through obstacles. Pastor Margo, what does that topic really mean to you?
So when I think about leading with impact, it usually means for me leading with the end in mind, right? So like how do you want to be remembered? Talking about legacy, right? As a leader, how do you want to be remembered and what do you want your legacy to be? But more importantly, what are the legacies you leave behind in other people, right? So I love the quote that if you're leading and you're going in a direction by yourself, you're just taking a long walk. You're not really leading, right? So to lead, you really have to keep others in mind. It means that you believe that what God has called you to is greater than yourself, that it is supposed to impact other lives and challenge other people. So the evidence of leadership and its impact is really found in what others do, right? And how you improve the life of others and people beyond yourself. And in a time period where so much is being said about, doing what you want to do and accomplishing all the goals for yourself, I think as a leader, sometimes we have to remember that yes, we are to pursue our dreams and yes, we are to aspire to the things that God has called us to. But when you think of it from a higher level, you really are leading other people to be their best, which sometimes means getting rid of your own ego, your own pride, right? It means
Yes.
getting rid of all of those things that sometimes get in the way of us being able to lead others. It means remaining humble, right? Because if you're going to make impact in other people, you have to stay humble. You have to have some level of self-control, right? And so leading for impact means putting other people not above yourself, but putting others at the forefront of what it is you believe you're doing so that you can serve them and you leave behind generations, right? Because each one of us has the ability to impact a mother, a father, a child. And by doing so, we also impact their seed. We impact those that they come in contact with. So when we change others, we cause a domino effect. And that's the legacy we really want to leave behind. Something as small as being there when someone is down, checking on people who need us, and certainly getting in the trenches with people when they're at their worst is what sometimes allows people to live on to fight another day, to do more than they originally inclined themselves to do. And thus that benefits their children and their children's children for generations to come. So being an impactful leader means looking beyond yourself, right? And your own selfish ambition and what it is you desire, and looking at the desires of those that surround you that you've been called to lead.
I tell you, that is so, so powerful. There's a lot of different issues of people using their voice in a bad way, right?
Yes.
And they think they're doing it because of whatever belief they have, whatever cause they may be wanting to fight. But at the end of the day, you will be held responsible for every and anything that comes out of your mouth. Believe that. And as you understand that our next generations are hurting, and our seniors are hurting because many people lose that conscious awareness. It's the reason why again we do these type of podcast show, because we want people to understand we're not talking about being better, we're living being better. And it doesn't, and you don't get to you don't get to waver behind that. You can't say you're one thing on screen and then as soon as you're off screen you start acting ugly, because that's in your heart. It doesn't, life doesn't work that way. And people, especially our young generation, will see that. They will see your character and they will hold you accountable for your character. Believe that. So let's have a little fun, because I tell you, this is a fun, like I said, we laugh, we learn, and we
I like to laugh
here.
too. That's good. That's good news.
So the fun thing about this podcast show, guys, is that the synergy here, I heard a few things. You said you were in DC. You were born in DC. You moved once to Calvary County, which is my hometown, which is a synergy moment. And now you're in what, St. Mary's or Leonardstown? Which one?
St. Mary's County.
St. Mary's. You're in St. Mary's now. So I was going to show off, guy, because I was going to say, oh, I got another Calvary County homegirl on. But you are.
I'm married to a Calvary County homeboy, so it's all good. It's
so,
okay.
so tell us a little bit about your husband, and tell us about who he is, and what does the word Parker mean to him?
So I am married to Kenneth Gross, whose mommy was Gussie Parker. Then later, of course, Gussie Gross. But I am married to the amazing educator. He's a DC public school teacher of 20-something years. I ain't going to say how many because that'll age him. But we've been married for going on 25 years now. It'll be 25 years in June. And we have 2 children together. And he is indeed the love of my life. And he happens to be related to Miss Parker here. So...
I was going to show off about that. That's another synergy moment.
Yes.
Guys, when I met Pastor Margot, I met you at an event in, I want to say Bowie, Maryland. It was a book event that I believe Miss Harkins put together. And when I first met, you said that to me. She said, Sharon, I think we're related. I'm like, well, I don't know, baby. You look a little, you look like me. You got extra color going on. I love it. She said, I swear we have fun over here, right?
Yeah.
And she said, no, my husband is related to you. I said, well, what's your husband's name? And of course she told me, and I said, what's his last name? And you told me that as well. And I started looking at pictures and I was like, yeah, he related to us. Welcome to the family, my love. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much.
And I know you know for sure how much the Parkers like to have fun, how much the Parkers like to help people, how much Parkers like to really, really look out for the community and the next generation, because it's something that's in our blood where we just can't help it. We always want to give back. And we always want to add value. No matter how it shows up, we're adding value 100%. So let's get into your life, your story. You're not only a pastor. Tell us what other professions you have. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So I'm an educator. I like to always say I'm an educator, and I fulfill that education role in many different ways, whether it's through being a classroom teacher, dean of students, Title I teacher, vice principal, supervisor of special education, supervisor of equity, supervisor of special education and equity. So I've worn a lot of roles professionally. But I went to school to be a fashion designer. So I'm also a seamstress and designer and all of those things. I've owned several businesses from a shoe store to a boutique. I'm also an author and a life coach. So I wear many hats, a professional public speaker, and I serve on a lot of different committees and organizations that have tremendous impact in our local community and abroad. But with all of that being said, the truth is, early in my childhood, I couldn't read. I
Mm.
grew up around a lot of addiction and did I wasn't really raised, right? Because both of my parents struggled with addiction. And so I am a product of what many people would say she's not going to make it, right? All of the labels that you could give a student for not being able to read, not having parent support, at times not having food to eat, at times not knowing where I was going to lay my head. And so I am an amazing example of how God will rescue you out of something, right? And so with all of those things that I've done, a lot of that is to give back for, every person that made an impact in my life, from teachers to family members and different people who made a difference. And without God putting those people in my life, I certainly wouldn't be where I am today. So with all of those accolades and accomplishments, there were people I had help. I had people that helped me along the way. Certainly, especially through college. I went to college on the back of a single mother who made it happen and a grandmother who made sure I had what I need. Went on to get my master's degree, and I first started teaching in DC public school and then switched to Calvert County public schools. But certainly, I've had help and a support system, and God has definitely rescued and redeemed all of those years of struggle and strain and put me in a better place. So I'm a living witness that He will change and transform your life.
So that brings me to, guys, did y'all hear that? First of all, the next generation, did you hear that? Okay. Whatever you may feel you're going through now, this message is for you to push through those obstacles, because if we've gone through those things. You have a lot of the young generation don't have a clue how the baby boomers have suffered for decades with not having opportunities, not having funds, not having certain doors open to get us in the room. But what we did, we never gave up. We never said we couldn't do it. We complained a lot, but our parents made us get out there and do it anyway, right? Because they knew what God had put in us. And the only thing, our parents asked is, don't mess with what God put in there. Don't mess up that brain, because you have no idea how powerful you are if you just keep on pushing through obstacles. That's real. So with what you just shared, you being an author, the title of your book is Push, guys, and that's the reason why we put it in the topic, push through obstacles, because we want to put the highlight on Pastor Margot's book. Tell us about your book, and was some of your childhood growing up caused you to write that, and if it wasn't just childhood, your professional era when you became a teenager, a professional, the whole 9 yards. Tell us why you wrote that book called The Push.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So, Push is a 120-day devotional that features both a scripture, a breakdown of that scripture, if you will, the devotional aspect of it. There's a place for you to journal your response to it. And there's also something new that I feel like I invented, which was putting a hashtag in a book so that when you went on social media, you could see who else was reading the book and who else was using that hashtag. And so there's a connection piece or a synergy piece to it,
Yes.
that allows people to push, along with some declarations that you can make so you can speak life to yourself. That book came about because as a student of God's word, I often felt like some of the devotionals that I was reading didn't speak to me as an African American woman, often walking through challenges that I felt sometimes the church didn't address. And so I wanted to make sure that when we talked about pushing into our purpose and we had a devotional to go with it, that it got at the root of some of the issues we struggle with.
Yes.
And so there are lessons in there for everybody about how you can take that biblical scripture and make it practical and pertaining to your life and then walk it out. And so I wrote it because I wanted people to develop a greater relationship with the Word of God, that they wouldn't feel like it was something beyond their understanding, that they would see how
Yes,
valuable it could be in terms of giving them what they needed to move their life forward. And I also wanted it to include some level of prayer, right? Because prayer and the Word together can do some amazing things. And so I wanted
yes.
to make sure there was prayer. I'm a big journaler. I have a whole lot of journals. I always say when I pass away, I hope everybody gets a journal that comes, because I believe in journaling. And so I wanted people to be able to write out their thoughts, their dreams, their hopes, their prayers in the book as well. And so I wrote it to be sort of a one-stop shop for that person who just wants to be inspired, whether it's first thing in the morning or before they go to sleep, whether it's on their lunch break. So it's pretty quick reads. But it's meaty and it has a lot in it that should empower you and inspire you to live your life on purpose and push, because not every closed door is locked. Sometimes you just have to go a little bit further than where you thought you could go. But the Bible says that just as soon as we thought we were ready to let go, God will strengthen you, God will empower you, God will indeed, in my words, push you on to another day and another outcome. So
What
push.
a what a on time message. I definitely want you to put in our chat how people can purchase your book. When was your book written?
Oh my goodness, 2016, I think.
Wow. Okay, great. So we can still order the book.
Yes, you can order it on Amazon. If you look up The Push and you put in Pastor Margot Gross, it should pop up for you. So if you search The Push, Pastor Margot Gross, it should pop up.
All right, so we're gonna take care of some bills for a second, but I want y'all to, I hope y'all paying attention because somebody's gonna get a gift today, right? Maybe two people gonna get a gift. I don't know. But I want y'all, I'm gonna ask you a trivial question when we come back. But I do want Chris to bring up the school picture. I'm talking about another synergy moment here that just transpired this week. And I know, Pastor Margaret, you didn't say what school you teach at, but I want to know what that is. But I do want Chris to bring up the picture, and I want to show you all guys how God works. Just this week, my granddaughter and I had an opportunity to go to a school in DC, Synergy Moment, right? It's called the Richard Wright Journalism and Media School. And we were able to meet with some young people, share our legacy story, connect them with, some community people that teaches African American history and culture. There's a museum in Annapolis called the Banneker Douglas Tubman Museum, and director Chanel, what's Chanel's last name? Chanel Johnson. She's the director of the museum, and she also is the director of the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture. And when my granddaughter and I went to this school, it was much to our surprise that she was there. So these students got an extra treat of history, and this aligns directly with the Rosa's Business to Business platform that launched on December 20th, where we're bringing professionals across the country together to talk to the next generation, to lead with their stories, and to share their platform so that we can support the 10th anniversary of the Rosa Youth Empowerment Series called Rise. This year, 2026 marks the 10th anniversary, and we got some wonderful things in line for our youth, but we're going to be doing a gala later in the year, and we want to get every business person to be involved because we want to support you on what you do, but we also want you to support us on what we do for the next generation. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that flyer. So, question for those who've been listening, for those who've been making comments, and we got a lot of people here making comments, and I thank you all for being here. But Pastor Margot mentioned 3 different places where she lived. For the first one that can guess all 3 places where she lived, I am going to purchase a copy of her book, and I'm going to send it to you if you actually get the question right. Okay, so the first come, first serve. What 3 places, or where were the 3 places that Pastor Marco lived and where she's living now? So
Come on,
I'll
y'all,
let
get it
you all,
right.
I'll
I
let
want to help them so bad.
No, no, you can't help them. This is what one thing about Rosa, the Remembering Our Ancestors Synergistic Association organization is about is that keyword. What's two keywords? But one is remembering, right? So you got to be tuned in the whole time to be able to remember so that you won't miss opportunities. Hint, hint, next generation. Young people, I know you love your phones. I know you love your tablets, but there's a lot of things you can miss if you don't listen. Wait a minute. Who is this young lady? How do you pronounce her name? Larissa?
Lucretia.
Lucretia? Miss Gibbs, congratulations. Congratulations. You got it right. I would like for you to shoot me your email to ccparker123 at AOL.com. Give me your mailing address, you know, how we can connect on social media. And I am going to mail you a copy of Pastor Margot's book, Push. Okay. Thank you, thank you. And everyone congratulate her. Don't be, you know, congratulate her. Show the love, right? Show the love. Awesome. Congratulations. All right, now let's get into the second part of the interview. Um, I do a lot of observance in the community. And I try not to say much on how people move, walk, or engage. But when I see someone like you having that international kingdom mindset, and when I see your post that you put on social media on, you know, some of the things you not only do in your community, at your church, how you travel around the world with women and everything, I just want to have the audience understand what that looks like. So when you talk about being a transformational kingdom leader, if you could talk a little bit about how you're that way in the community, how I've seen you show up on Facebook when you go to Africa, and what you actually do in your educate. I mean, in your professional arena with your students. So, if you could speak on those three, and I hope it's not a lot, but if you could speak on those three, I'd really love for you to do that.
All right, I appreciate that. So, a lot of my community work comes out of my partnership either with my job, which right now I serve as Calvert County Public Schools supervisor of equity and special education. So, in that role, I partner with a lot of community organizations. NAACP, Concerned Black Women of Calvert County, along with a plethora of other organizations. Um, we also, through my church, provide a lot of community outreach. We believe that we should make an impact on the community we serve. So we have what we call the laundromat takeover, where we go into the local communities and we pay for people's washing and drying, because some of us who have, washers and dryers in our house, we have no idea how expensive it is to just wash and dry one load of clothes. And some of our people are making choices about whether they should get their prescription or wash their clothes, whether they should eat or wash their clothes, whether they should pay for their electricity or wash their clothes. And so we saw a need in the community, and we started taking over laundromats. We do 2 laundromats every quarter. One in the Prince Frederick area of Calvert County and another one in Lusby. For our seniors, we also sometimes fold their clothes and put them back in their car for them. And we just believe in serving the community. We also do a barbershop takeover where all the haircuts are free. We usually do that at the beginning of the school year so that our local kids can come back to school with a level of dignity, because sometimes when you can't get your basic needs met, you don't feel that. And so we provide those. We also do random occasions of care and kindness, which is one of my favorite events, where we take over this year we actually had over $1,600 worth of gift cards that we went into the local community and just popped up on people and gave them a gift card to bless their life, because people just need to know that God cares, sees them, and loves them without stipulations for income. Of course, we have bill assistance programs, and during the furloughs, we always offer government furlough support to those who are going through losing jobs or have fallen upon hard times. This year for Christmas, we provided wreaths and trees to a few senior centers so that we could bring some joy to their doorways and they could remember that they are not forgotten. And the seniors at our church actually visit senior centers when it's permitted, because there are times where the senior homes have to stop visitation for like COVID and things of that nature. So we make those visits. I also share some of our community work, our church's community work on different panels within the county to get
Hmm.
people to see that there is a need. In addition, this year we just started supplying 11 children at a local elementary school with food for the weekend so that they are fed over the weekend, which is something we're very excited about doing this year. And the list goes on and on. I could keep going, but those are some of the ways in which we're impacting our local community. It's
Okay.
time out for churches that say, well, we just want you to come to church, get saved, but we don't offer people practical solutions.
Yeah.
People are making real choices. They need to eat. They need to have clothes. They need to pay bills, right? And so, what is the point of collecting tithes and offerings if you're not there for the orphans and the widows? Because that is indeed what the Bible says we ought to do. So, we've been doing that. The group that I travel with is interesting that you brought that up. I went to an HBCU, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and through that, I made some lasting friendships. And so I travel with a group of fellow HBCU graduates. One of them is our host, Michelle Jackson, owns Escape with MJ Travel, and she hosts us going all around the world. And so I've been to Ghana with her, Bali with her, Morocco, and then we have a trip coming up to Anguilla, which I'm really, really excited about. And so we travel as like a sister girlfriend group, and it's so needed because in a time where they claim we can't get along, we have over 30 years worth of friendship, and we love hanging with each other. It is everything we dreamed about, and we often have moments where we pinch ourselves because most of us did not know that our life was going to land us in such good fortune that we would be able to travel to Ghana and experience Africa together. It was a powerful moment. We went to the slave dungeons and we bathed in the slave river. And I just want to say it was life changing. If you haven't done so yet, go back home. Go back home. The warmness, the greetings that you'll feel, um, you won't really know what it means to be fully included until you experience it. To go to hotels where they have black soap and shea butter, and you can use the shampoo because it works for our hair, right? All of those things that we're so used to accommodating over here. When you go over there, you really do belong. So shout out to Ghana, the friends we made over there. I definitely feel like that was an epic trip. I want to go back and do South Africa at some point, and also Egypt. But those were life changing experiences. Morocco was also beautiful. Bali was breathtaking. If you haven't traveled, you need to travel so you can realize um, that some of the things we hear about, specifically the motherland, right? Some of the things we hear about them are so far from true, and you need to experience it for yourself. So that's
I
my
tell
shot.
you, I'm trying to not jump off my chair because I'm just bubbling all over. God help me. Okay, I'm trying not to jump off my chair. But thank you for sharing that last part. That's again what this platform is all about, is just keeping it real. But another synergy moment. First of all, I want to be your, part of your girlfriend clique. Okay, so we're going to make that happen. Next time y'all go somewhere, y'all need to let me know. Okay, that's number one. Number two, a synergy moment about South Africa. My oldest daughter, Tanique, is on her way to South Africa
Oh my gosh.
today. She got on the plane at 10 o'clock this morning. So I want y'all to pray for my
Oh,
baby. Okay. She's been there once before and she's been all over the world. Oh my God. I mean, she's been with places I've never even thought about being. She's gone to Dubai. She's gone to England. I'm like, girl, look, why am I'm older than you and why am I working so hard and you get to travel? But she's literally on a plane right now, going to South Africa with some friends of hers. And that's a synergy moment, that I just want everyone listening to understand. Guys, you all can do this. Okay. The next generation, you can do this. Focus on that, what God has put in you. He put so much creativity in you. You're intellectually smart. Just follow your dreams. Let nothing or no one deter you from your dreams and everything, and just make it happen. You can do it just like we did. And I got to pay some more bills, Pastor Margot, because you've just got me bubbling over here. So, Chris, if you could bring up the flyer. I mentioned earlier, you guys, that we launched our business to business platform on December 20th, 2025, just passed. And we are going to be doing monthly events going forward. So in February, on February 21st, Chris, if you could bring up that flyer for me. On the 21st, we're going to be at the Barnes and Nobles, guys, at the Potomac Yard in Virginia. Virginia has the first female governor, so we're going to be making some history over there. So I would love for all of our B2B professionals who attended our December 20th event to join me there. I would love for you all who are new, that want to be a business to business professional, to join me there, because not only will I be talking about my story of Calvary County, my book is called True Synergy Work, Leading Within, the seven, Power Seven, the episode 7, right? That's that synergy. 7 defining principles of knowing yourself to build greatness. Another synergy moment. Contact me on 202-365-8277 if you want to, showcase what your tools are, your products are. I can set it up on my table at the book signing. Help me make this event a large success, because, guys, this is about us creating history. So on February 21st, okay, on this year, we're going to be at the Barnes and Nobles at the Potomac Yard in Virginia. I want y'all all there. I want you there. Please come up, sign up, and just be out there to help me make this event a success. So thank you, Chris, for letting me pay those bills. Thank you, friends. Look, we want y'all to ask some questions to Pastor Margot. So thank you, everyone, for your comments. But please feel free to ask questions, because we want you all to understand this powerhouse, who's not only working in the school system, she's working in the church, guys. She's working, with her voice all around the country and internationally, to really inspire us to push through obstacles to become great that God designed us to be. So next segment of the show. If you had to leave some inspiring words for the next generation on how they should walk in the footsteps of notable and leading African American individuals and those who've helped us, what would be those words that you would leave for the next generation and also our elders?
So I hope this is received well, but I would say don't believe the lie, right? Because there's so many lies spoken about what we can't be, what we can't do. There's even lies that your childhood will tell you about how far you can go and what you can accomplish. There's even the lie of, well, my family legacy, nobody has ever done anything like this. And there's the lies we tell ourselves about, it's too late for me, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not wise enough. There's all the things that we put up, and all of those things are lies, and they're meant to rob us of our future. So I would say to that person, get to know the truth about you, that you were fearfully and wonderfully made, that your beauty is beyond compare, that you are highly intelligent, that God made you without any remorse about making you, that after he finished, he said, it is good. And so the closer you get to identifying who you are and your purpose in God, the greater you become, the bigger of a threat you become to every dark thing, right? Because you are able to defeat it with the truth. I think we start believing in lies and we hold on to them in a way that's not constructive, when that is absolutely not what God said about you. It's absolutely not who you are. I don't care what reputation you have where you are right now. I'm telling you, there's greater for you. I'm telling you that there's more inside of you than you even know. And there are great things in front of you. You just have to get rid of the lie and believe that your future is brighter than you can see right now.
Wow. Guys, can we drop the mic on that one? Don't believe the lies, no matter who is coming from. Sometimes it can come from the closest person
Yes.
to you. It can come from the closest person to you, not because they really believe it, because there's a lot of them too, but you
Mhm.
have a lot of people that wants to manipulate people. You have a
Yeah.
lot of people that want to use people to keep people down. So it's even strategy. Don't let anyone play with that mind of yours that God has put in you. Okay, people like control.
Mhm.
People like fame. People like money, and all of those things will be the death of us because we grab on to those
Mhm.
things and forget about the
Yeah.
fact that God made us to give to people, to serve people, to make people feel good, to make people feel better about themselves, not to break them down, right? And when we don't understand that, we're playing that devil's game, guys. We're playing his game, and that devil can come in many forms. Believe that. So just know, believe in yourself, believe in God and everything, and believe in what you can do to help society. So, Chris, I want to bring up Pastor Margot's video again because we got some more people signing on, and I want people to really see her journey. So, Pastor Margot, after we show your video, we want to ask individuals again how they can connect with you, what projects you got coming up, and everything. And most importantly, we want you to join our B2B networking group. Okay, so awesome. So, Chris, if you could bring up Pastor Margot's video again. Yes. So look, Pastor Mark, I like to share that little girl that walks across the screen. That's that Sharon Lee on the run, right? So sometimes she's walking, sometimes she's running, sometimes she's flipping, and sometimes she's just jumping. But I just wanted to share that. That's what we go through as moms sometimes. That's what we go through as community leaders sometimes. It's so much going on that I just like to show her because my granddaughter Sylvia created it for me, the Sharon Lee little synergy girl. And I just want to share that because that's how we feel sometimes as women. We don't know. People are like, what's going on with you? I don't know what's going on with me. Okay. I don't feel like running today. I don't feel like jumping today. I just want to walk today. So my granddaughter had put a comment in there and I wanted to share it because she says, thank you. She really needed to hear that. And you have no idea how much you touched her because you never know what people are feeling and what they're going through. We both was at the school, the Richard Wright School, and the principal, Mr. Clark, was sharing with us that he had to walk away to deal with an episode with a young student who was basically acting up, right? And he asked the student, what's wrong? And the student said, I don't know. And then he asked the student, well, what would make you happy? And the student was like, I don't know. So it was one of those things where he felt like, there's so much that goes on with our young people that it's deeper than what we can address. Some things may be clinical that needs to be seen by people, that we don't have that clinical, professional, and I won't use the word, I'm trying to use a politically correct word, but whenever it comes to emotional trauma, a young adult or a senior is going through, reach out to a professional, right?
Yes.
Seek help because whatever is impacting you deep in your core and everything, they can help you talk about it so they can help you overcome it. We can inspire you, we can add value and share all kinds of positive things with you. But at the end of the day, if it's a deep issue, let us know, guys, if you need help and we'll connect you to someone who's a professional in the field of mental, illness, mental awareness and all of that. So I just want to share that because that's one of the hot topics that's going to be on a national platform that I support. I don't know if you ever heard Pastor Margot of American Mothers Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been established in New York back in 1935, and they're coming to Virginia April of 2026, the 23rd to the 25th, I believe. And they're going to be having panel discussions. They're going to be recognized moms from all over the country. They're going to be having, roundtable discussions, and they're actually looking for someone, who can speak on mental wellness. I'll put it like that, mental wellness. And if you know of anyone, let me know because I'm going to be seeking at least two more people to help them. So if you know anyone in that area, let us know. But I just want to thank all of our guests out there that's been, thank you for sharing that. This is Alba Washington. She's an elder. She's in DC. She still lives in DC. Her daughter is Renee Robinson, who performed with the Avenelli dancers for God knows what, 30 years, Ava? And another synergy moment here is yesterday we were at the Richard Wright School. The lady who invited us out, Miss Helen, went to school with her daughter. Okay. And she's like, I know, Renee, I know, Miss Tahira Washington, Alba Washington, let her know that I want to, she wanted to reconnect with them. So I'm going to connect you all to, or connect y'all three back together. And that's Miss Helen, Abba, and also Renee. So just know that is in the works. But Pastor Margaret, you have been a phenomenal podcast guest. You've shared a lot of inspirational messages for us all, right? So what do you have coming? Well, before I ask you what do you have coming up, what's the name of your church?
The name of my church is the Remnant of Hope International Church, and we meet at 12 noon on Sundays. We're located at 150 Ball Road in St. Leonard, Maryland.
Awesome. Thank you. I've been wanting to ask that since the podcast, but I'm like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So what do you have coming up?
All right, lots of good stuff coming up. So, one of the amazing things that I have coming up is my second book, which I'm very excited about. The other thing that's coming up is my 50th birthday is this year. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm traveling with my friends to Aguila. So I'm really excited that I'll be doing that. My church has some amazing things coming up. We are currently seeking a location. So we will be moving from leasing from someone else to buying our own property, which is huge because we know that we need to own land and we need to own property. because once it's gone, it's gone. So we've got to do that. So that's one of the big projects we have coming up. We partnered with the Concerned Black Women. My job partnered with the Concerned Black Women so that we could provide the Mile Conference, which is a conference to help build leadership skills in our young people. And so that is coming up as well. We are excited about that. Um, my church has an anniversary coming up in April. It'll be a 10-year anniversary. And so that's very exciting. And as always, if you follow me on Facebook at Margot Medina Gross or Margot Gross, I believe it is now, you will see that I'm always out championing Christ, and certainly doing my public speaking and life coaching.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What did I hear? There was a lot of synergy in your message. Okay, first of all, 50 power of five. Y'all know what my power of five means, that, nothing is done without the grace of God and the power to do the work, right? That's what the power of five means to me. So you're turning 50, young lady. I told
Yes.
you were young. Look, my granddaughter, like, what? You 30? You ain't no 50?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I need her to put that on recording so I can say that to myself every morning.
No, you don't. You definitely 50 is young. Believe that. I just wanted to share that Sir Charles had put a comment in here about Synergy Girl always on the rise. Yes, Synergy Girl is always on the rise. But Rise means Rosa's Youth Empowerment Series. Again, we started this program back in 2016 at the Francis L. Cardoza Educational STEM College, right? Or STEM school in Washington, D.C., Northwest. We've gone all over, the D.C. area. The National Congress of Black Women brought us in. We taught our youth project management. We introduced project management even yesterday to the Richard Wright's school, and they are definitely excited for us to bring it into the school. So I can't wait to make that happen. But I just wanted the community to know that as we rise, it's no joke on what it means to work together. We must take the next generation by the hand and show them how to knock down doors so that they can achieve the same type of success we had to struggle to get. Remember that. That is so powerful in today's time because so many doors are closed and so many doors are closing, especially legacy doors. African American in particular, legacy doors. If we don't take our youth by the hand now, our seniors by the hand now, um, we're really setting ourselves up. And I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to be real because, again, my family is about loving people. We're about serving people. We're about uplifting people so that we can walk out in this society and be able to say, you know what, somebody got my back because they saw what we've been doing for the last 10, 20, 30 years. We're not talking about it. We are being about it. Just like Pastor Margaret said, and with her history, with her legacy, with her family, with her church, she's not talking about serving the community. She is being about serving her community. And we need each one of you all to step into 2026 with that serving mindset. And as I talk about service, never ever forget Dr. Martin Luther King, who we will be celebrating his birthday on Monday. We celebrate it at Rosa every day, just FYI. But I just want the public to know. Don't get so caught up in what you're doing and forget about the ancestors who worked with everyone to make society a little better for us all. Pastor Marco, any final words you have for the audience so that they can know how to, stay connected to you? They can purchase your book. They can be a part of your programs.
I'll just share one thing to piggyback on what you said. When you talk about a legacy and service and all of those things, I think one of the responsibilities we have that we sometimes don't place enough value in is to leave the door open, right? When you get an opportunity, who are you pulling into that opportunity with you, right? Who are you making better because you were on a board or you got selected for a committee, or even when you win an award, who are you then nominating so someone else can get what you got, right? If you graduated from college, who are you recommending to college? Who are you connecting, right? Sometimes we get in the door and we close the door behind us, right? We don't leave the door open. And we've got to learn as a group of people, me too, not trying to get so political, that we do not shine because we made it all by ourselves, because we got in all by ourselves, right? You have to be able to reach out and pull somebody else up with you and not feel so insecure that you don't want to tell anybody else how you got to where you were, right? So I want to say that. But then to follow me, I would say Facebook is probably the easiest place to follow me at Margot Gross. I pretty much put a lot of things on there that I'm doing. My church's page as well, the Remnant of Hope International Church, and it does start with if you're looking for it on social media. They pretty much show you all that we have going on, where I'm going to be next, what's happening in the community. There are a lot of events happening in our community to help inspire people and lift them up. And I say to everybody, just leave the door open. Whatever it is that you have gained access to, share that with somebody else so it's not just you at the top. We should all be there.
I love it. That's it, guys. That's how we do it. Pastor Marco, I know you got to go back to class, but I want you to just give us one more minute in the green room. We want to do a little Photoshop picture, and then we'll let you go. But guys, this is what it's all about, right? Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show, making it about you, making it about community, sharing your legacy story, and most importantly, never ever forgetting your history and your ancestors who worked on behalf of us all, right? Again, I want to thank Crystal Glenn from Smart Video Girl for being our engineer. I want to thank Sean Parker, Dana Parker. I want to thank all of you, our guests who's been here. I want to thank Shayla. You definitely represented. I loved all your comments. I want to thank Lucinda, who's the winner of the Push Book. Please, again, shoot me an email at ccparker, cs and cat Parker 123 at AOL.com. Everyone, please go to Rosa's website at www.rosaSalives.org. Okay, and I'm putting it in the chat too, because I always forget about doing that. But just know that we are about our culture, we are about history, we are about our ancestors, and we are about you, right? We are about you because you matter. Your story matters. Your family matters. Your siblings matters. Everyone in your family matter. And no matter what you're going through with your family, no matter how things are, you and your family is all you have. Okay, get over the small stuff because we have some big challenges to impact and big struggles to deal with. Let it go so that we can come back together and, most importantly, stay together. With that being said, guys, what an awesome show. Thank you. Pastor Marco, stay behind. We're going to do some video. Chris, if you could take us out with our theme song, I would really love it.
Synergy, energy, living legends are reaching me. Sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee.